Looking forward to this presentation. We have David Rodriguez with sort of a $10 title. He's the North America Outside Sales Director for SMB Partners in the Global Commercial Channel out of Austin, Texas, which is delightful. You have that South by Southwest. That's right. Yeah, that South by Southwest thing going on. And then I'll also, will you take questions in the presentation, or would you prefer after?
If we have some time at the end, I know everybody wants to go for lunch, so if we have time,
okay.
I'd be more than happy to.
All right, thank you.
Well, thank you. Can you guys hear me? Yes. Everybody okay? And I'm sure online, hopefully everybody can hear me as well. Again, thank you very much for having me. My name is David Rodriguez. I'm very honored to be here on behalf of Dell. I know that I'm the only thing standing between you and lunch, so I will make sure that I keep this on track. And secondly, as my wife and kids tell me all the time, just don't make it boring. So I'll try to keep it a little bit interactive if we have to, but just wanted to kind of share some things as we go. Before we go through why Dell and how Dell can actually help you maximize your business and your profitability, you're probably asking, well, why Dave Rodriguez? Why am I here? You know, I have a 17-year-old and a 14-year-old, and they're constantly asking me, why would anybody want to listen to you? And secondly, how can you come up with something for an hour? You don't know that much to go talk to a bunch of people. So, you know, just a little bit about me. I'm an Army brat. I traveled internationally and domestically all throughout the U.S. and over in Western Europe as a kid. And I am a middle child of 5 children, and my dad was a master sergeant in the Army. So as you could imagine, I didn't have the opportunity for many speaking engagements. So what I've done is I said, okay, now I'm going to have my opportunity and be able to come out and start speaking to some folks and a little bit on what I do and what Dell is here to bring. So what I wanted to cover is in the last 11 years that I've been with Dell, I really have had the opportunity to continue this international and global, and domestic travel to partner, to actually help partners. I've really enjoyed it. I've been everywhere from Latin America to Canada, Western Europe, all through the Middle East and Asia, China, Japan, Australia, some really cool places down in Southeast Asia. And you know, what I've learned, the reason I'm telling you this is what I've learned is that partners all around the world, no matter where they're at, all really tell me the same thing. They have 3 issues. They say, you know, tell me how you can help me help my customer better, how I can actually make my customer happy. Secondly, how can you improve my cash flow? And then the last thing that they're looking for is, you know, you're telling me all this, but tell me how you're going to deliver and actually say what you say you're going to do to make my business better. Just a quick story. One of my favorite is out of Vietnam. I actually had a great opportunity to be out in Vietnam with a partner, and you know, prior to going there, this partner, reseller of Dell, actually had quite a bit of business with Dell. It was a very good partner of ours. At the time, they made a payment for a bunch of product that they bought from us, and they, if you know anything about Vietnam, they have the Vietnam dong is their currency, and the government controls how much currency comes out of there and how you can exchange rate that over to US dollars. So they talked to our Asia Pacific headquarters and said, hey, you know, I can't get the dollar out of here. They agreed to the euro and put a euro exchange rate on there and sent the payment off. Well, Treasury got it and said that's the wrong exchange rate, and sent the payment back. So it went back and forth for, you know, a good 30, 45 days, and you know, normal accounts payable folks are like, hey, I'm gonna shut you off, I'm gonna go get your stuff, I'm gonna do this, I'm gonna do that. And nobody really was understanding what the partner was, why they weren't paying. They've paid for the whole time, and this was the first time that they've not paid. And so I got on a plane, went down to Hanoi, and just sat down with them and with an interpreter. What had happened is when the dollar became available to actually send a new payment, the payment amount on the exchange rate was about $30,000 more. And the partner said, I shouldn't be charged for $30,000 on top of what I owe you because your mistake of giving me the wrong exchange rate. And then Dell, being a big $60 billion company, doesn't understand what the SMB is looking for. So I went and sat down with him, and we walked through it. He was on 30-day pay terms. I said, listen, here, let me give you some calculations. Why don't we make everybody happy? Why don't we, the next $1 million that you're going to pay us, I'll do it on 90-day terms. Here's the benefit on the cash flow side. And both company, my company as well as the Vietnamese company, both made out without having to come out with additional dollars, just because of the cash flow that was involved there. So it was a way for us to actually sit down and talk to partners, listen to partners, and really understand what their needs were and how they're actually a small business themselves. Most as you guys are, I'm sure, as well, as small businesses. And you're trying to make money and trying to help your customers. So anyway, I'm not very good at stories, but that's the story. So that's enough about me. So before I go into why Dell, I'm carrying a really nice Latitude 10. Dell's really commercial product here. It has a removable battery, the only one in the market. The first time I've actually presented with it, I'm not really looking at it, but I thought it'd be cool, and I'd be a little bit shameless to kind of hold it and show you guys. But it's a great product. I love it. It's everything from being able to do PowerPoint to playing Microsoft Solitaire to getting on the internet. I think it's a great product, and I really, really love it. You guys should come by and see it. I think if you come by our booth, you actually will be able to put a card in and win one of these. It's a really great product. That's exactly right. So for folks on the line, we have someone already said that her card's the only one that's going to go in there. So, anyway, so why Dell? So I want to accomplish 3 things today. Again, I'll keep us on track. I've already talked about myself for 15 minutes. My kids would be pissed at me, or mad at me. Sorry. So 3 things I want to get accomplished here today. The first is I really want to really make you guys understand, or have you guys understand, who Dell is and what we've evolved into and what we're trying to accomplish. We've really made a big investment, several big investments to become an end-to-end solution provider. And I really want to make sure that you guys are familiar with that, understand that. The second thing is I really want to make sure that you understand that Dell's not going to be successful without our partners. And we'll walk through that and go through that. And the last thing is really to walk you through our enhanced Partner Direct program, our channel program, as well as our IT consultant program, to really show you guys some of the programs that we've been putting together over the last 5 years to really enhance our small business partners and their profitability. So as we go to the next slide, now that I've gotten off of slide 1, I don't know if there's a better person that can explain why the partners are so important to us. But Michael Dell has been in the market, publications back and forth, and you guys have probably seen a lot of the privatization comments that have been going around as well. But Dell simply will not be successful without its partners. And so I definitely want you guys to understand that Dell's a big company. And one of the great things that I've gotten to do over the 11 years at Dell is really work with small and medium businesses. And so I feel like I've been in the small and medium business business for a long time, even though I've been at a big company. But one of the things that small businesses like yourselves, you know your customer, you know the market, you know what the customer needs are, you know what's unique in that market, where a big $60 billion company, they may know the Fortune 500, they may know the government, everything else, but when it comes into the fastest growing area of small business, Dell needs partners, really good, loyal partners that we can actually help them with their customer base, and then obviously help us as well. A couple things I wanted to cover on this, and the biggest thing that I wanted to cover here is top right-hand corner is it's a very little known fact that we're approaching 40% of Dell's commercial businesses through the channel. Dell's obviously heritage is being direct, and it's still out there. But we have grown our channel business with our partners over the last 5 years to be 40% of our business, and it's quickly approaching 50% of our business. And it's very profitable. It's a great opportunity for us to create opportunities for partners that are loyal and register with us to actually grow their own business while actually utilizing a lot of the products and services that we've acquired over the years. The other thing I wanted to cover on here really quick is, one simplified client price. If any of you have dealt with Dell in the past, it's the biggest complaint that I think I've heard is, I see one price here, I see a price over here, it's the same product, everything's the same, and I'll see it online, I'll have somebody show me another price and it's different. So back in the winter of in our Q4, we actually changed to one Dell price. And what that does is it gives everybody equal footing. And where we got this from is really from the partner community. We got a lot of feedback that partners were being, lack of better words, undercut by Dell and others because we had so many different price points. So we did change that. It's anywhere you go on there, and if I'm lying, I'm dying, but if you find it differently one place or another, send me, you'll take my card and tell me I'm a liar. But it's a great opportunity for our partners because our partners are really happy that they're on a level playing field as they go forward. So really quick, and I mentioned this really quickly, there's really two ways to get engaged with Dell. And I was talking to some of my colleagues just a few minutes ago, and I really think it's one way. It should be all partner direct, and we're evolving. But we have a great new program in our IT consultant program. It's Dell Consultant Network. But the first is our partner direct program is the value-added reseller. If you're a reseller, you can actually engage and sell Dell product, services, solutions, and whatnot, and get a very good price, good marketing, good technology from us, and good support to help you. The second is the Dell Consultant Network. Through this IT consultant program, we've really created an opportunity where we find that we have lots of small businesses that are IT consultants that influence the sale because you're in and out of your customer's place of business, their home, wherever they may do business, and you're out there helping them. And we found that about 38% of the time in our small business direct queue that it's a consultant calling. And that consultant calling in is influencing that transaction. So we've really put together a unique opportunity to have a specialized queue just to help our IT consultants. So really quick, a little bit again. I've been saying this, but we've been doing. Am I boring yet? Is this boring? Hopefully, I'm not too boring. We've been growing this program for 5 years. But it's a little known fact as well that this program has been. Yes, sir.
Yeah, Chris Bang says no, you're not boring, and your children love you.
Okay, thank you, thank you. I need to take that back to my kids. Excuse me, sir?
We are also not getting bored because we need that laptop.
The tablet, there you go, there you go. So if you stay and listen as long as you can, you will maybe win one of these things. The cornerstone, or really the pillars that have made our program very, very strong are on the bottom of the slide here, and I'll go through it. But we've had a channel program for many, many years. If you think of the emerging markets, China, Southeast Asia, Middle East, and everywhere else, we've always done business with partners. And it really is actually a culmination of that and our VP of Global Commercial Channels, Greg Davis, from his days back in the channel at IBM and others, that we've grown this program over the last 5 years from a more stable and consistent program that is there for all of our partners. So what we've done is the first thing is we've really been very collaborative. There's no way that we can go build a program without listening to our partners. So what we've done is we've said, we've gone out, we've done surveys, we've asked our customers and our partners, how better can we actually build this program to be more interactive and provide availability for profitability for our partners. The second is just that, the profitability and the investments. We've made so many investments from marketing programs and put tiered programs together as the more you invest in Dell and our solutions and learning our technology and all of our end-to-end solutions, the more discounts and the more rebates that you're going to be able to get and more training. So that's the second thing. The third is, and we'll go through this in a bit, we have a very, very robust portfolio. Probably too robust for me to even be able to explain it. There's so many new technologies out there, and the great thing is we've acquired a lot of companies over the last 5 to 6 years. I think it was like $5 to $6 billion that we've spent out of cash to go acquire the technology and the infrastructure and the expertise to bring on to help us go grow this end-to-end solution. So lots of good stuff there. And then we've been recognized in the market. You know, CRN is voting us the number one best company to partner with 2 years in a row. I mean, we have lots of good accolades that we're doing. So lots of good stuff there. So really quick, if we go to the next slide. I'm doing actually pretty good with it. I actually was kind of scared to hold this thing while I was trying to click this thing, so it's actually good. So really, this is kind of the investments. Where's Dell been making investments? And you know, you got a lot of stuff here, and you know, as we look at it, you know, the first thing that really brings our strategy together is really having enhanced our acquisitions through really giving us not only just to be a PC maker anymore or a manufacturer, but really to help us to help you help your customer. And so we're trying to make sure that we have everything from the endpoint, you know, your normal laptop, all the way up to, you know, virtualization in the cloud. So we're doing everything we can. So if you look at all the companies below, and those are the companies that we've purchased over the last 5 to 6 years, but it all starts with customers that have old legacy solutions in a base that need to change. And so a lot of the things that we're doing today in the market, they have to pull out their legacy stuff and put in some new stuff. What we've done is put an open program in our technology to make sure that they can build as they go and they can interchange and bring in and out. So lots of good stuff there. You know, we start with our client innovations of everything from your mobile all the way to, again, this big thing right here that's really, really nice. We actually just came out with an 18-inch as well. An 18-inch like all-in-one that's a beautiful, you know, desktop. I know you wouldn't want to take it, but it's nice for the kids to go watch TV. So anyway, so lots of good stuff here, and as we go, what we found with big data, the third point here is, you know, as we're looking through integration and the software, we know that there's so much data out there, and I had it in my head at one point of all the number of gigabytes and zigabytes and whatever they're called now, that it's multiplying on a 12-month period. It's multiplying over and over again faster than what we did all the way up to like 1997, you know, from what we've controlled. So a lot of good stuff there. I won't go through all of this, but it's really flexible. It's really an opportunity for you guys to take a look and come to the booth to go through that. So here's our platform. Our platform really is, how do we actually go from soup to nuts, you know? And if I look at, and I'm probably in everybody's way, but if we look at the whole efficient program that we put together, you know, if you think about Dell as a PC manufacturer back in the day, you know, you may see that in end user computing, but we've really brought together our whole through inorganic and organic acquisitions to bring software all the way up to servers and storage and networking. So, and not only that, you can't do this in a silo. You have to, you know, somebody needs a, you know, storage. They're probably needing the end user, the end user computing as well in some of the software. So we have generalists, and we also have specialists that we've acquired through acquisition as well as that we've hired organically that really understand the converged data center, if you will, and how to use the technology from all the way, like I said, from the storage space all the way down to, you know, the end user and how you bring that together through through the software side. So, any questions? We're good. Okay. So now let me just go into our program, our architecture, if you will, of the Partner Direct program. It looks a little bit lopsided, but I try to do something snazzy and put a couple of things that are going to move here. But the first thing I wanted to do is really want to talk about just the pure architecture of it. Registered partner. If you're alive and you're breathing, you can become a partner. You just, you know, and I'll walk you through that. But you just need to have a website. You have to have a, you know, a resale certificate, and basically that's it, and you can become a partner. But we don't just want you to be a registered partner, but we definitely want you to register. We definitely want you to come on board to the family and really walk through that. But it really, as you go up, it's all based on the competencies that we're trying to put out there for our partners. And really, as small businesses that I've learned, small and medium businesses, is that a lot of times they are very specialized in certain areas of technology, and even sometimes in industries, medical and whatnot. So we have 6 competencies that are in there. And as you go up to Preferred and Premier, it's more training and more revenue that you do with us, the more that you will get benefits that we'll walk through in a minute. what we've just done, I think it was April 24th, we started to change something. Did you guys see that? That was pretty cool. Networking and security used to be one competency. We've pulled that aside, and then we've really brought together a whole new software competency that really has helped. And again, this is launching over the next few months, but if we look at this new software competency, what it's doing is really going into that security, that data protection, systems management, and information management. All of those things are really, really big on our customers' list and our partners' list to really go drive. So what we're trying to do is we're trying to give that competency in some small and medium businesses like yourselves. You'll see as I go through it a little bit later, the revenue targets aren't as high, and there's opportunity to go in and become a preferred and a premier partner without having to do such high volume if you're not selling as much hardware. So lots of cool stuff there. Even on the software competencies, there's not only multiple competencies, but if you have one competency and you dive really, really deep in that competency, like security, we could actually get you into the premier status as well. So really quick about the requirements. Again, if you look at the first one, again, like I said, if you're breathing, you pretty much can become a partner. You can start there. We have great inside sales cues that really will help you out. But as you grow with Dell, what we do is it's all based on training, certifications, basically how you build your resume with Dell and how we want to support you to go sell our products and services. We're there is providing you the services and the solutions to go sell the services that you sell to your customers. So as you become a preferred partner, it's really just now starting to get more certified in a specific competency, and then the next rolling 4 quarters doing a certain amount of volume and revenue. And then again, if you get into 2 of those competencies and start doing training for your sales folks as well as your IT folks, you actually will get to the premier status and then really driving more opportunities with some of our enterprise products. And as I was talking about on the software, this just came out, so if there's some misspellings here, I apologize. But software, this is where I was talking about a lot of our small and medium businesses are really going out and doing software-only competencies. So we've then broke that out and allowed it to do only $50,000 annually in revenue, and you can become a preferred partner. Yes, sir.
Coming from the Sonicwall side of things, is Sonicwall products now considered software?
Yes. So the question was, is Sonicwall part of the software competency? And the answer is yes. And a lot of what we're doing is actually bringing together legacy, everything that's legacy that comes into Dell, it's part of our program. And if you guys think about what the companies that we have purchased are not like Dell. Dell was born on direct, where all the companies that we've purchased really started indirect. So they're teaching us a lot of things about what were their programs, how did they help their customers, and we're actually taking that, and that's where the software competencies are coming from, is how do we learn from our partners, the companies that we've purchased. So we've integrated that very well. We have an integration team that's working very, very hard to make sure that makes that easy and a good seamless transition.
I did have a follow-up that's
Okay.
only peripherally related. So do you foresee a time when Dell Direct is an extinct animal, or do you expect that will always be there?
That's a good question. I think, and I can walk through a lot of things. I think that, and here's what I will say, and I know I'm being recorded, so I'll be careful. I think that we will pride ourselves on having some very keen specialists at Dell. What many of you may not know is that we just changed the way that we organize our P&Ls. We used to have all of our profit and loss statements based on sales segment, on the direct sales segment. And the global commercial channel was an overlay of that. Well, we just changed that this past year to now it's based on the competencies, end user computing software, the enterprise and the services. And so I do think that it's going to come less and less binary, if you will. I think it's going to be more of a collaboration through the channel that we're going to go do business. But I think we'll always have some level of direct sales, but it's more of a collaborative.
Got a question here. Josh, go ahead.
Okay, so the follow-up there is in our peer groups, the one complaint I hear the most is that I won't sell Dell because they're going to contact my client. The second I sell in a Dell server or a Dell laptop, whatever it is, they're going to start to get ads, they're going to start to get calls. They're now trying to attack my client. And that really has been true. I know one partner that goes so far to buy everything under his company name and ship it to him, so that doesn't happen. But I know far more that just avoid Dell altogether.
Yep.
So is that going to change, and will you put that in writing?
There you go. So great follow-up question, by the way. And hopefully the folks online could have heard that because you had a mic.
Yeah, they're talking now.
Okay. It's a great question. So if I go back, B for back, there are line of business certifications. So if you have a customer and as a partner, you have a customer, I think it's on the preferred here, or is it on the, where's the LOB? I think it was preferred. It may not be on this slide, but we actually go in and we will award a line of business, if it's services, storage, networking, or whatever it may be, and that is your customer. We will give you that certification that you have that certification to sell only that LOB, and Dell cannot come in and do that. So it's in the program, and we are, again, there's an evolution to it that we're doing, but we've heard that, obviously. I mean, you're not the first to have heard this. And I think who has been, I'll say this, I'd get in trouble for saying words, violated the most is SMBs, the smaller VARs. We have a program that we've probably 600 or so of our largest VARs that doesn't happen that much with, but it happens a lot with our smaller VARs. And so my whole new job, I've taken this job on, I guess almost 7-8 months ago. My whole background is finance. Greg Davis is the global controller. So I've learned the program, I've learned what we got to do, and I really want to make sure that we're being efficient and effective for our small businesses. So we have a whole organization within Dell that is all about escalations. And we have that escalation process, and we will do things to the direct guys to make sure that they don't do it again, and we will even compensate the loss of margin to our partners if that happens, through that escalation process. Okay. Okay.
Not to beat a dead horse, but we came into Dell through Sonicwall and Aperture. A lot of partners. The day that occurred, I can tell you that the Twitter and email, it was horrendous, scattering to every other product line. We took a much longer view. Much longer view. I can tell you it's not been perfect by a long shot, and there is contact. If you were a Sonicwall partner, and that being a recurring revenue model type product, if your customers were registered in my Sonicwall, they were contacted. It's just bottom line, it happened.
Yep.
Our business model is such that we have a relationship with the customers where they let us know.
Yep.
I will say we've not lost general revenue from any of our existing customer base. I will say, back to a point you made a few minutes ago about level pricing, and we can go offline on this, but on a client who knew now that I was Dell, contacted us and wanted to do service renewals on existing servers, and we got blown out of the water. And the people who we're dealing with at Dell couldn't give me a straight answer in one way or another how the partner who quoted it even did it.
Yep.
And I'd love to discuss it with you and figure out kind of what's what. But bringing it all back to what Josh said here a minute ago, I think if Dell takes a long view, and with the move to go private, if Michael Dell's able to pull that off, stock price is making that look probably pretty good from him right now. But if he's able to pull that off and make a serious long view commitment, the bottom line is that we as business owners will make a lot of money. Dell will not be aggravating the heck out of the sub-enterprise market. And if Dell makes a 100% commitment that we would move through the channel and make you our partners and get that number down to 10% or 0, I'm telling you, everybody in this room will be making a ton of money.
Yep.
Dell's reputation and name in the space would be, it would be 180 degrees from how some people feel about it right now. So
Yep.
just a comment.
Yeah, thank you for that comment. I mean, I really do appreciate that. And so again, I'm used to getting the hot seat. So I've heard this before, and that's what we're trying to do. And to your point, a couple of points that you made, but the whole privatization thing, that is, if you go read anywhere of what Michael is saying, it's the long-term view. The street has made us a quarter by quarter, beat that dead horse type of thing. And exactly. So we've really.
No, one more question before we let you back.
Let me back on track here.
Yeah.
Okay, but yeah, let's visit offline. I definitely would love to share some thoughts with you.
Go ahead.
Yeah, this is, if the horse isn't dead yet, I'm going to
It's about to be.
continue to beat it again. You know, the philosophy from Dell early on has been, in view of the small business of ours, like many of us are, is we're going to do everything we can to put you out of business. Yep. And one of the ways we're going to do that is have you become our partner, grab your customers, and make better deals directly to them. I think that's the elephant in the room that everybody's familiar with. Until that can get changed, I see it being very difficult for Dell to grow this. I have been at other meetings in years past where the God level VP of whatever channel program they were in, you know, handed out his business card with his own cell number and said, if you catch us selling direct into your account, you know, call me and we'll get that taken care of. Well, that was years ago, and for all intents and purposes, you're making the same promise now.
Yep.
At what point is this going to be real, or do the rest of us just say, okay, done?
Yep. So do you want blood, hair samples?
Well, and I have 512.
Yeah. So you know, again, relatively new. 5 years is relatively new for a formal program. But I will tell you that there is a commitment there. This privatization thing, this isn't the first time. Michael Dell tried to take this private in 2006 as well, and probably even before that. So there's a lot of energy around the channel, and I can't. This isn't going to change overnight. It's not like a fighter jet. It's we got a big cruise liner that we're trying to turn the wheel on. And so all I can tell you is that you have my personal commitment, and I know that that may not mean anything to you at this point, but I'm building a whole team. If you think about the channel at Dell is about a $14 to $15 billion global enterprise. It's humongous. And we, within the channel in the North, in the US, $1 billion of that is with large VARs, the largest VARs that are out there. But the funny thing, I just had this with my VP boss, I said, there's $1.5 billion of business in the US with small VARs. And my whole new team is just out there. I have 7 channel account managers that are focused on small, medium businesses, and all they're doing with partners of small, medium businesses. And we're growing that territory to go and provide the love to smaller, medium-sized VARs. So I can't. Only time will tell. And I'll give you my card, and you can call me a liar in a year. But we're dedicated. Yes, sir.
Yeah, we've got some feedback from the online viewers. Reggie CJ, the questions for the Dell speaker are very engaging and insightful.
All right, great. So I will continue. Let me take a drink so I can go forward. Am I shaking yet? No. Okay, so let's see how much time we have. So we got about 15, 20 minutes, I think. So we went through this. This is probably what I was getting at with the benefits of the LOB benefits, the line of business benefits. If you look in the middle of the preferred line of business registration access. So, and you guys, I'll get you guys a copy of this, but you could also go on to Dell.com/partner, Partner Direct, I think it is, and you can get these as well. But you know, the biggest thing that I want to stress is we're not perfect. I definitely say that we're not perfect. And, you know, I will tell you that I just had a one-on-one with a director on the direct side this week. And my job is to educate our direct folks that are historically direct folks to understand, and here's where a good benefit that hopefully you guys will resonate with is no matter how we win the deal, if it's won by the channel or if it's won direct, the direct account executive is going to get paid. So there's a dual compensation model. So it cost us more to pay the direct account executive, but we said, listen, stop trying to compete against us. And how I've always told the directors on the direct side is, the VAR is like having 5 additional account executives, if you have a small VAR with 5 sales folks, that are out on the road really working for us if we work with them as opposed to working against them. So instead of having 1 account executive or no account executive and we're filling it with just inside sales reps, now we have folks that are out in the territory that are very intimate with their customer base. So, so we are working very, very diligently with the direct side, and there's a lot of education in the market. I mean, a lot of things that you said, sir, is perception as well as reality in certain areas. I mean, I'm not, you know, I wasn't the bad child. I'll say my older brother was a bad child. I was a good child. But there's going to be some of that, but we're putting things in process to make sure that they are dealt with and the switch is hit on them and they're losing their compensation for it. So we'll get there over time. As you get to the premier partners, obviously rebates and opportunities to go further on registrations. The greatest thing is that, you know, you get unlimited registration of deals, and our registration process is managed by an internal group that's not direct or indirect. They're sitting in the middle basically saying, okay, this deal comes in from a partner. The first thing they do is they go and find out, is this a current customer of Dell? And then the second thing they do is this opportunity being worked by a partner, another partner, or by Dell? If the answer is no, they're not a customer, we have some programs of greenfield programs that we give even bigger discounts, you know, to win that business with a partner. But if the answer is yes, that they are a customer, and the answer is yes, it's with another partner, then it's rejected. If it's with Dell already and being worked as an opportunity in Salesforce.com, it's rejected. But if it's not being worked, then it's awarded to the VAR that registered. And the key thing to know is that if I'm not mistaken, and I'll get this for you, I think it's 85% of deals that are registered are awarded. You know, so there's opportunity out there. Is that right, John? Okay. So if somebody, a partner registers a deal 9 times out of 10 or 8.5 times out of 10, you're going to win that registration. And then if you are undercut, you can call me directly. I promise you, there's a process in place that will, you know, make sure that you have that deal, and you will be awarded the lost revenue or the lost margin that you have. Okay. Let's see what else I got here. See other kind of questions I can get. So just a little bit real quick on software. You know, I won't go too in depth here because this is brand new. But you know, through acquisition, we've brought on this competency that's a really great competency, $1.5 billion of revenue already. A lot of that coming obviously through acquisition, but we knew at Dell that we didn't have this competency in our tool bag, if you will. So we went out and did a lot of acquisition and brought you know, companies in. If you look at, you know, from a software perspective, you know, you look at Quest, Sonicwall, Case, Apasure, you know, I know the gentleman in the back said Apasure, then we have Boomi from a cloud perspective. But what the great thing about these partners, I mean, these companies, is their heritage was on the channel. It wasn't on direct. So we've brought them in, and a lot of what we're doing is really using this as a thrust to make sure that we're growing more and more in the channel, and hopefully we'll be at 50% or more soon. You know, everything, you know, as we look at the software package. Really everything kind of, starts at the bottom, if you will, from security and data protection. Most of our customers and partners are saying those are the things that we need to make sure that we have. So when we start looking at, security, data protection, all of that kind of secures everything from the client all the way to the cloud, security, and the big data that we have out there as well. I mean, there's so many analytics that have to get done. We have SecureWorks that does a lot of they have government, they have, I think there's a lot of different departments of the government that there's rooms at Dell that you can't walk into because it's so secure because of the data information that they have that they're securing. So lots of stuff that we're doing there, and we can do that with the schools. I have several banks as customers that security is a humongous opportunity for us to help them with. So one of the things I wanted to talk about, and I think you may have saw it on one of the slides, that when we did the software competency on the right-hand side, there's a service provider program that Darren's working on to really launch, putting all of these solutions together. There's service providers out there, and again, I was given this probably 3 days ago, so I don't have all the information on this, but there's a service provider program that's being launched and going to be part of the Dell Partner Direct program that really works through the systems management, through information management, and really takes that and does a go-to-market with a service provider out in the market. So why get certified? Because I told you to go to the desk or the booth and get certified, but most times we're seeing that most of the VARs, the resellers that we partner with, they grow 4 times as fast if they get certified and they become trained and certified into some of our competencies. So I mean, the revenue growth is humongous. To the gentleman in the back that was talking as well, I mean, with this privatization, there is so much opportunity because we're looking on a long-term perspective for us to go win together and go drive a lot of opportunities with the customers. We have, I think it's a industry, a lot of small and medium businesses, 10 seats all the way to 400 seats, 500 seats. They just don't get the love. And so how do we go out and help them instead of them having to go into a Walmart or a Best Buy or somewhere like that? We want to make sure that we know that you guys are out there helping the customer. And then the other one, the last one is the Dell networking program. I'm sorry, the IT consultant program. We do have a great program. I know we did some analytics in Brazil first, and then we did it in the U.S. And to the point earlier, I think I remember, last year when I was looking at it, is 38% of the time, a Dell inside sales rep takes a call. It's an IT consultant. So lots of opportunities here. We've really solidified a program and invested in putting a wholesale SKU just for IT consultants. So if you're here or online and you're an IT consultant, you don't resell, but you actually influence the transaction, the solution for a customer, we definitely have a dedicated team to go help out with that. And I have 2 examples of certifications just so you could have this, and I know that we'll give we can give some collateral to you guys just so you can look at it. But here's a hardware competency requirement. We have, again, everything is based on, I'm on time. Everything's based on really training and really understanding our solutions and then enabling you to actually go out and sell to your customer. When we reorganized this past winter, and you probably see this in the news, we have a mid-market section that is anywhere between 100 employees and 5,000 employees. And we have so many accounts that are Dell customers that we don't have enough salespeople on the direct side to go service them. And I know that that's, so what I'm doing is I'm going to those directors and VPs of the direct side and saying, hey, I have 5 partners in Dallas that here's what they go out and they do. Here's their specialty and who they work with, and we're actually helping them with leads. So we're actually being able to give those leads out to partners because somebody on the phone in Round Rock, Texas, or in Nashville, or wherever our call center is, they're not able to go and sit down with a partner and figure out what their needs are and their challenges. If you go to the next slide, just really quick on the I think this is systems management on the software side. So I won't spend too much more time. I really just want to go to the commitment, and I know this gentleman over here he's looking at me, and I can feel the heat coming from him that I'm lying or something. So I want to really just kind of go through our commitment. So our commitment, and then what maybe we can get from our partner community. We really know that the enterprise is a big thing, and we know when you think about small, medium businesses, there may not be so much of the big enterprise stuff going on, but there's a lot of stuff with cloud, a lot of stuff with virtualization, a lot of stuff with their first server, things that we can help out with. So it's really understanding the data center, and I would say that if you can learn and leverage some of our enterprise solutions, I think you could go win a lot more business. Simplicity. I think the only way that we're going to get there is continued feedback that we get to make sure that we are doing the best that we can to eliminate all the complexities that are out there that you guys have seen with the multi-channel approach that Dell has had. And then again, the commitment from our side is, I think Greg Davis, our VP, told me, last year, I think we gave 250,000 training sessions to partners over the last, over a 12-month period. I mean, I think that's almost probably more than our direct folks have taken. So, I mean, we're doing that. We're giving more training sessions. We're trying to give out more opportunities for our partners to actually know as much as our direct sales folks. And the last thing is, I do think that, if all we're doing is selling, a laptop and that's it, it's not, I don't know if any of us will be profitable, just kind of like an Escalade to a Pinto. I mean, there's more profitability in the Escalade than there is in the Pinto. And I know that's an old car, a Gremlin. I mean, that's an old car too. There you go. So anyway, I will give you my commitment for that, and hopefully you can come by our booth here, and you can learn a lot more about our program and the Partner Direct program, as well as we'll be talking about, there's folks there talking about our IT consultant program. So hopefully you can learn a lot more from that, and really that's all I have.
Yeah, Chris Bangs from Florida says he has a Gremlin.
All right, that's awesome. I had one as well. My dad had one as well.
Yep, for some questions.
More?
More. Question over here.
Yeah, exactly.
Bob Farkas from Computerama in New York. I'm a vegetarian, so I won't beat the horse.
Okay.
I just want, my team at Dell's really outstanding. Greg Bunch and Starla Longest and the rest of the crew. So I want to thank you, and your tech support is better than the rest of the companies.
Perfect, thank you. And you're out of New York, sir?
New York.
New York. I'm putting 2 more sales folks out there, outside sales folks out there, so maybe we can talk. I'd love to know a little bit more about your business.
Okay, got a question over here. Please say your name.
I'm Eric Olmsted with Online Support. I noticed on one of your slides that if you're in the Partner Direct program, you cannot be in the other program.
Yeah.
I also noticed in the other program that you have salespeople that you can work with to close the deal. Is there anything like that in the Partner Direct side? Because we just cannot be experts in everything.
Yep. Oh, yeah. This is what's really, really interesting, and thank you for the comment, because we have specialists. So we encourage you to use the direct sales specialist on a deal. Again, if we go back to the comments earlier, we have to trust each other, that we're not going to go take that transaction or opportunity, and that's why we have the deal registration process. But if all you have to do is call into your sales rep within the channel, and they will mobilize a networking specialist, a storage specialist, a case management, whatever it is, and we have specialists all throughout the country that are in region, and they basically will come out and help you close that deal. So yes, to your question. Yes, sir.
I noticed from the graphic and from the words under it, you now need to have 4 folks to be preferred. Is that correct? You have to have 4 employees that have each passed a series or a single test, I guess.
Yeah, and I believe it's always been that way, or 2 sales folks and 2 technical folks.
Right. It didn't used to have to be discrete humans. There could be 2 people in each of those roles.
Robots?
They allowed the use of the same people, actually.
I'll check in that. Again, my ignorance on this, I apologize. But if I'm not mistaken, it was 2 sales and 2 technical. But if it's changed, I'll actually text my boss and see if I don't know that. But yes, it is 2 and 2 is to get the preferred. And I think it helps all of us. It really helps to make sure that our partners are equipped with the right knowledge. To the point earlier, the gentleman over here on. We want you to just at least have a level of expertise, but then we will send out any experts that you need that will help you close that.
I just want to expand on that, and I think something that you guys need to understand from a point of working with us is there'll be some people in here who are business owners who are, astounding engineering level smart people when it comes to this technology. They could tear an Equalogic sand apart. They could do a compellant, and they could learn it in a week and probably compete with anybody at your SE level.
Yep.
Don't focus on the people and the count, because some of us don't have that many employees and do $1 million in revenue.
Yep. I agree. It's a good point, and again, I'd love to be able to talk. He's going to keep asking me questions, but I'd love to keep answering these questions because I love to be speared. But I think it's a really neat thing that, and I'll tell you this because in the history of Dell, we have never and I'll give you just a quick personal story too, since I have 2 minutes. I think if my watch is right. I actually left Dell in the middle of my career, for 18 months because I wasn't happy with what we were doing. My whole career, before Dell was all about SMBs. I did sales for financial services with GE Capital, Cat Financial, and others, and mostly focused on the construction industry and helping small businesses regionally. And I really wanted to make sure that we were helping small businesses, and I do feel that Dell is on the right path and driving us to really go focus. And a little late, I admit, but I had a VP that asked me to come back and go spearhead some of this stuff, the passion I have for it is unwavering, and I think that if we can make that work at Dell with the 100,000 plus folks that we have, I think we're gonna win, especially when we're private, and I think it will happen. So.
Okay, well, why don't we start to wrap